Hello and welcome. I'm Exit Light and this is my podcast. How is everybody? How are you, Rob?
I'm okay, Chase. Am I still coming in really loud?
Yeah.
Sorry, I whisper.
Somebody left a comment on our podcast last week. Two people, actually. They no longer exist in my world. Um, one said, hurry up and spit it out already. And the other one said it took too long. It's a podcast. I think we're supposed to take a little bit. I don't know. They were grouchy.
Yeah, well, some people need to get a life.
Yeah. Can't anybody be more grouchy than I am today? I'm a grouchy grouch. I don't even want to be around myself. I'm so grouchy. I just want to tell myself to shut up and go to bed. So, is there any kind of announcement you'd like to make or anything, Rob? Anything you'd like to talk about?
Um, well, I I get to keep my girls for the next today, which is good news.
Oh, that's nice.
Taking them home tomorrow afternoon, which is good.
Oh, very good. That's my son's. I don't know if I should say that out loud on here. One of my children has a birthday around then.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, God. Would you like my address and my social security number too?
Oh, dear me.
Well, I'm glad for you. And you have had no word back on the growth on your mom.
No, I haven't.
People are asking. People are sending you prayers.
I'm sorry, everybody. I just haven't.
Why are you sorry?
Oh, I don't know.
How dare you, Rob? How dare you not have any updates?
My GP's back now. My GP, basically what Stacey's sort of getting at is my GP's really, really good, and I don't have any complaints about her, other than the fact that she only works part time, and she only works days that I find difficult to get in touch with her, and because of the coronavirus, which I know a lot of other people will be having the same problem, especially in the UK. We can only get a telephone consultation the first time, and then they decide whether you warrant an appointment in the surgery from that phone call. So it's really difficult to get in to see anybody to find out your results, and they won't give you I'm not told you this, Trace. They won't give the results over the phone.
Oh, really?
No, they won't give results. You have to make an appointment and speak to a GP, and then they'll give you a date to come in where you can speak to them face to face.
Oh, well, we could sit here for 6 months at that rate.
Yeah.
Okay. I have nothing to report except for this. Today, I got my notebook in the mail and I got my pen in the mail. Yes, I did order them online. #Amazon. And the reason why I ordered them is because I have to write down my itinerary for videos, 31 videos to be exact. I can't put them in my phone because I don't trust myself to not accidentally disappear to my list. So I write them down, which I like doing anyway. I'm a list maker. We're going on a vacation in December. I'm not going to tell you where because you guys have enough information. And I've already started to make my list of things I have to take. But it means that the 31 days of Halloween is right around the corner.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
I'm so excited. We've had 2 people give me stories to narrate, which I'm so excited about. If now for those of you who want to, please contact me. I will gladly love to narrate your true story, your fictional story, tell your paranormal story. If it's about Halloween, it's about time to start sending those in. And I can get them done and get those already up in the queue. I want to start having everything in the queue already, so that last October I ended up in the hospital, and and that was a little harder to. It was just hectic. Let me say that. So I would like to prepare, because this is the time of year that if anything happens to me, it's coming up, and so I'm doing it. I'm doing it, Rob. I'm going to
Well,
do it.
so, something I forgot to tell you as well. I have a friend that lives across the way called Yvonne, and her father passed away a year ago, and she's been having some strange activity in her house, and she came over for a drink with her daughter the other day.
She came over to have a drink with her daughter.
She brought her daughter with her.
Oh, okay. To have a drink with you.
Have a drink with me, and my girls and that, they all play together. And anyway, the point of the story, I'm turning to you. The point of the story is she's got a few weird stuff that's been happening. So I am going to ask her, can I interview her? And for Halloween.
All right, that'd be great.
Yeah, I was going to obviously clear it with you first, boss.
That's me, boss.
Yeah.
Grouchy boss. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. She's had some. Whenever anybody has any kind of paranormal activity around here or weird happenings, everybody's first person that they think of is me. I don't know if that's a good thing.
That's funny. I'm the same way. The first person I think of is you.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Well, awesome. And perhaps around the same time, if the timing works out, I'll be doing, at my 3,000 subscribers, I'll be doing a giveaway for a box that I'm putting together that I know you guys are sick and tired of hearing me talk about it, but I'm really excited. And don't get you're not getting a new car, okay? I don't want these expectations to be like you open it and you're like, why was she excited? Yeah, here's a couple of candy corns. No. But I'm excited because I'm having such a great time being creative with this box. And I hope that whoever wins, gets to see, a part of my channel, who I am, who my channel is, and, some personal kind of just know me, just get to know me. And, that might not be something you want to do. You can ask Rob about that. But I'm really excited. I think I'm trying to put my kind of personality into
the box
this.
Is really good.
I'm excited. So
very good. You'll be made up if you win it.
So, go ahead if you would like to subscribe, and go ahead and click that bell, and that way you can be notified when my content does go up and when the contest does start. And what I'm trying to do is find a website that can pick uh, for me, or come up some way that maybe I can have my husband. It doesn't matter. The point of the story is it'll be a giveaway. And I guess we've blown 10 minutes.
Sorry.
That's okay. I mean, I like talking about me. You.
Okay. So what we doing today, Trace?
Here's what we're doing today. We're going to talk about unidentified victims, murder victims, or, unidentified victims who have not been claimed, who do not have a name other than, Jane Doe, or maybe the place they were found. So Dallas Jane Doe or something. And I think that is just the saddest thing. Some people might have been living lives that were they were in a position where they wouldn't have been reported. Maybe they had been reported much earlier. Their families had reported them, but they were living a lifestyle that when they finally did disappear, it wasn't really noticed. Or some people seem to have access to dental care and health care, and there doesn't seem to be a reason why they wouldn't be noticed, gone. They wouldn't be reported. However, this is Rob is going to, in 2 minutes, Rob is going to tell you to please not listen to me. But before he does, I'm going to get going.
Hey?
You'll see, Rob. Here it goes. Here's my personal opinion. I watched a lot of documentaries on serial killers, and I know you know what's coming now. People have gone missing, and and there, I think, just common sense wise, especially before we had a lot of access to the internet and the kinds of communications that we do now, and not it hasn't always been where people just carried around a phone and you could look for pings. A lot of our mysterious disappearances now talk about the phone last pinged here, but they were last seen here. Well, a lot of these disappearances were before that was a possibility. So my theory about some of these, whatever, disappearances, and the fact that people say, well, they haven't been reported, or why didn't anybody say they were missing? But if I disappear in Seattle, Washington, if somebody kidnaps me in Seattle, Washington, and drives me across country somehow, and I end up in a dune on the Jersey Shore, it is so likely that there's nobody there who's going to have ever seen my missing persons poster. That my parents will never see a poster of this person passed away. I don't, because of the distance. And this is where it's going to get me in trouble. There is a theory, and I do get it. I need to make merchandise with this on it. Just that there are people in the trucking industry who know that this kind of trafficking can go on, and have talked about it in some documentaries. And the one place in the country that everybody crosses through is where, Rob?
I don't know.
You should go. It's Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Yeah, I was just looking at Oklahoma now.
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. They all converge here. So have been people who have been interviewed and who have, they don't obviously give their names or whatever, but they say that you can hear conversation going on that is really suspicious. And I think that if we have at least 6,000 serial killers. At least 6,000 serial killers, they figure, the FBI figures, in the United States active today. That's a lot of serial killers. So if you're moving from Seattle to the Jersey Shore, the best, most unseen way would be if you're with a trucker. We see semis on the road every single day. Does anybody ever pay attention to that? No, it's like if I was to pay attention to every single tree I ever drove by. They're just so common, it's expected. I told Rob the story that I was in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and I went to a truck stop with my kids, which is even better. But there was a trucker in front of us, older guy. This is not funny though.
I can't believe you say this every time.
Who bought these children's books and crayons? And they were for 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds. And it just gave me the heebies. So I'm just saying, if you're a trucker, Rob's going to say this. Please ignore her. We're not saying that truckers are serial killers. I'm not saying that all truckers are serial killers. I am saying that it's a good possibility that some serial killers are truckers. And Rob, having been a trucker before in his life, he can verify that he was once a serial killer. So there is scientific evidence to prove this.
Oh, thanks for that.
You want to do your spiel about me now?
I just think that you can't tar everybody with the same brush.
I just said not all truck drivers. I said this 100 times too. My father's family owns a trucking business. Are they serial killers? I don't know. Possibly. I don't know. I would say the likelihood is not that they are. I've never asked them though at the family reunion. I will sometime. But I'm not saying truck drivers are all serial killers. I'm just saying it is an obvious and logical connection to 40,000 unidentified people in the United States, dead, decedents, at any given time.
What I will say is if you are a truck driver and you happen to not be a serial killer, we apologise.
Call in, let me interview. I'm going to put you under the light.
Oh, dear me.
Tell me below if you're a truck driver, you're not a serial killer. Okay? I'm obviously not every truck driver is a serial killer. Obviously. Or we probably wouldn't get all of our produce delivered on time, but because it slows you up.
Anyway, should we get started?
All right. 20 minutes of me babbling away. It's no wonder that guy said that. Spit it out. Okay. An unidentified decedent, or a UID. UID. Oh, yeah. Is a deceased person whose legal identity is unable to be determined by law enforcement. Although the majority of individuals are identified soon after their bodies are recovered, it is not it is not uncommon for bodies to remain unidentified for years or even decades. There are approximately 40,000 unidentified decedents in the United States at any given time. And a deceased body can be identified in several different ways. Most commonly, a relative of the deceased identifies the body by sight. However, if a body is decomposed, skeletal, or unrecognizable due to severe facial trauma at the time of recovery, other methods must be used. Some of these common methods include fingerprinting, dental records, chest x rays, comparing the deceased's DNA to the DNA sequence of relatives, such as a parent or siblings. Since identification of a deceased individual is a legal matter, officials require a high degree of certainty in order to make formal identifications. Since identification of a deceased individual is a legal matter, how is that? What? That's weird.
What was that again, sorry?
Identification of a deceased individual is a legal matter, so officials require a high degree of certainty in order to make a formal identification.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm.
Yeah, they've got to have more than probably, I mean, I don't know what the percentage, maybe 75% sure that the person that is being identified
Well,
is that
yeah,
person.
especially by DNA, that would seem to be
Yeah.
the gold standard.
Yeah.
Do you want to go with your first missing person?
Yes, please, if that's okay.
Yes.
Excuse me. Mobile County, Jane Doe. On May the 18th, 1976, a middle-aged elderly white woman was found floating in Sessons Creek at the Potter Tract Road Bridge, a mile south of Grand Bay, Alabama. And
What did you just call it?
I said Alabama. I love that word, Alabama.
Mm.
Sorry. She had, oh, this is not very funny, sorry. She had been shot in the head and had her hands had been severed and then dumped in the creek, partially in garbage bags. She was estimated to be. See, this is the bit that I don't get.
Okay.
This is not too bad, this one, but she was estimated to be between 50 and 60 years old.
Uh-huh.
She was 5 foot 3 inches tall and weighed 140 pounds.
Okay.
She had brown hair that,
Wait, what's the part you don't get?
because some of them, not so much this one, they give an age difference, which is like between 30 and 40, 30 and 60.
Yeah, some of them are like, oh, she's between 18 and 34.
Yeah,
What?
I mean,
I guess probably if let's say you're a 19-year-old runaway who's living a hard life, maybe that ages you, and it makes it a little different. It'd have to be after the growing stage, I would think, though.
yeah,
Then maybe it would age you to, to not have enough calcium or vitamins, and maybe you
yeah.
have broken bones that they wouldn't usually see in a young person that age. And
Mm.
I know I always think that too. Like, can we narrow this down a little bit between the ages of 5 and 75?
Yeah, it's crazy. She was 5 foot 3 inches tall and weighed 140 pounds. She had brown hair that measured 4 inches in length and had green eyes. She had a mole above her lip. She also was missing all of her teeth. She was wearing a yellow pullover a pair of green slacks, and a strap of brassiere was cut on her back. Convicted murderer Henderson Williams is believed to have a connection to this case. The Mobile County Sheriff's Office stated in February 2021, that's this year, this year, they would be pursuing forensic genealogy to help find the identity of this lady.
She had her fingers cut off and her teeth taken. It sounds like they really didn't want her to be identified, doesn't it?
No, she's.
That's the strange part. They took away their ability to do at least two of the identification processes. With that leaves what? Chest X-ray and DNA.
Yeah.
Wow. See, that seems like crime drug dealer kind of. Don't come after me. The fact that they went out of their way to make sure she couldn't be identified seems extra. It doesn't seem like it was a, you know what I mean? It seems like planned.
Yeah, I mean, this question is like an open question, so anyone can you can answer it, Trace, or anyone can answer it in the comments. What I don't get, I want to kill somebody in America.
Why? You got plenty of people there.
No, for instance, because we're talking about America. So I see a person in my neighborhood who I think I want to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
So I kill them, and then I put them in my car, and I drive to the middle of nowhere, find somewhere to hide the body, dump the body. Now, okay, nobody finds the body for years and years and years. The person that I've just taken had a family, had friends, work colleagues maybe. It doesn't seem like the police or the authorities seem to look very. It's like they give up really quickly. Now, is that because there's so many people going missing? Or is it just maybe?
No, I think you have the wrong impression. I think you're looking at, okay, first off, you have to look at this scenario in a couple of different ways. If somebody goes missing from a neighborhood they live in a home with their family, and they have a job and whatnot, and they live an ordinary life, the search for them is not going to be over, and they're not going to be declared dead for 7 years. The search for them is going to be intense, initially, especially. Then you have to look at the fact that most of these women were what these murderers in society consider throwaways. Drug addicts, prostitutes, runaways, and when they go missing, it's not, they move around. They move from spot to spot. They do go missing for 2 weeks, and then they come back because maybe they got flush with cash for a couple weeks, or maybe they went and saw their mom for a month, and then they came back. So to have them go missing and then come back is a regularity that you would see downtown in these areas where people would be going missing. So I think that the police don't know what happened to them. And it's a learned behavior, a learned response that chances are they're going to come back. A lot of them would go, like go home to your mom or go home to your grandma, and then you get just end up try to sober up. Maybe they decided to try and sober up, went into a rehab. So they're going to be missing for weeks or months at a time, and then pop back up on the same street. And so you can't just. There's no zero to this person was murdered in those regards.
Okay.
If if your average mom goes missing, that's a huge news story here. And it's usually your average dad who killed her.
Right.
So I think you're looking at a couple different things here. Several years ago, there was a woman who went missing. Her husband had said that he had taken the kids. They had taken the kids to go camping in the middle of a winter snowy night.
Oh.
Yeah, and like she wanted to stay or something. They were like uber religious. Well, then within a couple of days, the dad goes to stay with his father, who, as it turns out, is a sexual predator, and had taken secret pictures of this mom in various states of being undressed, put cameras in his bathrooms, taking pictures of the grandkids. The kids were taken to go live with the mom's parents. Nobody at this point has found the mother's body. The father is saying, I don't know. She was fine. There was no proof found on him. There was no blood, no DNA, no nothing. The grandparents of the mother finally got custody of the kids. They had supervised visitation with the father. They went to go to their supervised visitation with the father. A caseworker walked them up to the door. He brought them in the house, slammed the door shut, locked the door, blew up the house with gasoline. They still have never found that lady's body. Do you think that it was random? No. But they've still never found that mother's body. Never. And they've searched and searched and searched where the guy says they went camping. But I mean, logically speaking, would you tell somebody where you actually went camping if you put a body there?
No.
So, I mean, the very rare occasion that the body of the person isn't found, it's still the family usually that's the suspect. Unless you're going into a national park, then all bets are off.
Oh dear.
There's just everybody's a suspect, and nobody's a suspect in that case.
Yeah, I agree with Jason on that one.
So, okay, so, but I think the police are put in a hard position when it's the drug users, the prostitutes, like I said, because of their lifestyle. It doesn't dictate. They don't have normal routines like. Well, I don't have a normal. Well, I guess I have a normal routine. It's just backwards from everybody else. But you can count on where I'm going to be at what time generally, right?
Yeah.
And you too, and my family, and so if my son was to disappear for any amount of time, it would be extremely out of normal behavior for him.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different kind of a investigation then. Okay, so here we go. Here's mine, and this is Apache Junction, Jane Doe. This is from Arizona. Apache Junction wasn't that far from where I used to live. On August 6th, 1992, the mummified body of a female who was aged 16 to 18, so that was pretty good, narrowing it down, was found in Apache Junction in Pinal County, Arizona. The victim was wearing a white T-shirt with soccer-related designs, white-ish undergarments, cut-off denim shorts, a gold ring on her left hand ring finger. The female also had a ponytail holder, and a penny. There was a round piece of paper that was also found, which had a green illustration of Abraham Lincoln and the Lincoln Memorial on one side was Lincoln, the other side was the Lincoln Memorial. There was a token for the Phoenix Transit System, which was found with the remains. She was approximately 5 feet to 5 feet 2 inches tall, and they couldn't determine her weight, but she likely died 3 to 10 weeks before she was found due to an unknown cause. Although they do a drawing of her and her weight, I would say if she was 5, let's say she's 5 feet 5 inches, she's probably, I don't know, 110 pounds.
Yeah.
The female's race was difficult to assess at the time, but it was initially believed that she was either Native American or Hispanic, which would be common in Arizona. She had a visible overbite, and there was no trace of dental care on her teeth. In 2018, the Apache Junction Police Department requested the help of DNA Project. There's a group called the DNA Doe Project to identify a female by autosomal DNA on the body and using DNA genealogy to trace relatives. There's a North Texas university not too far from me, and this is what they do. Police departments around the country send this to them, and they do the recreations of the face in clay and drawings and trace down the not only the DNA for the body, but also if there was let's say a leaf or grass or something with them, they determine where that leaf or grass originates from. Is that from a different state? Pollen as well, which is, I mean, unbelievable. So an update from the DNA Doe Project released on their Facebook account revealed that the descendant was of mixed African American and Hispanic descent. She had substantial DNA ties to southern central Virginia and the southwestern United States and Mexico. Another update was released in June of 2021, just a couple months ago, in which investigators had found a close relative of the girl who was named Bernard Lyon Newman. But they don't know if the man still goes by that name. They haven't contacted him. It was believed that he was born in 1953 near Darmstadt or Eberstadt, Germany, to a woman whose name was Elsa Maria Newman, and an African American service member. He may have been adopted during his life. Investigators do not believe Newman was involved with his death, but they are simply trying to help him to identify this girl. So that is actually fantastic, that they could do that much.
Yeah.
It seems like, I mean, how strange that. So the African American descent she got was from her grandfather.
Yeah.
Right? Is that a close relative of the girl by the name? Seems like maybe it was her father. It was her father.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe because I'm thinking this is current, but it was 1990. So yeah, probably a German mother and an African American father, and they don't know where he is. So if you're listening and you know anybody by that name, probably goes by, I would imagine, Bernard Newman or Lloyd Newman, then I would call the police department in Apache Junction.
Yeah. That must be the bit that how was the right? Okay. You said, what was the period of time between that they established between the death and the being found? Do you say 3 to 4 weeks?
It said 3 to 10 weeks, I believe.
How could the body be mummified in that short time?
Well, yeah, the heat. If it was in the desert, the heat, I guess. Because I mean, it's Arizona. You're looking at 100+ degrees,
Yeah.
and it doesn't cool down at night. Lord knows.
There's not a lot of animals about, is there?
Huh?
There's not that many animals about in that heat.
Well, yeah, I would think. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't. There would be actually. There'd be coyotes and wolves and I was gonna say jalapenos. Oh, Tracy. I can't think of what they're called. They're basically wild boars. Somebody will know it below. So there would be that kind, but maybe they buried her in the sand, and if she started to mummify quickly, which seems like maybe there was no smell because the sand absorbed the liquid, and I suppose that would be it.
Yeah.
That would have to be it. The heat and being under sand.
Yeah, just drag all the moisture out of the body, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's an interesting one, that.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, guys.
So do you have another one?
I certainly do.
Okay.
One-eyed Jack. This happened in Alaska. Was that nice?
Very nice. Thank you.
I've been waiting 4 years to do that.
Smarty. Hey, can I ask you a question?
What?
What are you wearing? Okay.
Anyway,
Go on.
moving on. On August the 20th, 1979, the skeletal remains of a man were discovered in Tok, Alaska. Tok is spelled T-O-K, so I'm presuming that's how it is pronounced. The deceased was apparently Sorry, I can't say the meaning word. The descendant had apparently descendant. Anyway, had apparently
Decedent.
hitched
The
up.
decedent.
Yeah, I've never heard that word before.
Decedent?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we just talked about this yesterday.
Did we?
Yeah. That it looks like it's descendant, but it's decedent.
Anyway, what Tracy said had apparently hitchhiked to Alaska in 1978 with another man and was then murdered by his companion. He was 6 foot tall, weighed approximately 185 pounds, and was less than 40 years old when he was murdered. The man's left eye was missing, and he wore a distinctive leather eye patch, which may play a crucial role in the future identification. He also had long brown hair worn with a headband, and he still remains unidentified to this day. One-eyed Jack.
One-eyed Jack. Huh. Interesting. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do the Pima County John Doe. This is from 2008. On June 24th, 2008, the decomposing remains of a young, middle-aged Hispanic male were found on a dirt road south of State Route 86 in Gunsight, Arizona. If that isn't the perfect name for Arizona, I don't know what is. on the Tohono O'odham Reservation. I should be able to say that better than I just did because I live next to the Tohono O'odham Reservation myself. He was estimated to be between 30 and 45 years old. He was 5 feet 4 inches tall. He had medium brown hair with hints of blonde or red. His weight and eye color could not be ascertained. He had a removable denture on his front teeth. He was found wearing a black t-shirt with the words "Fast Mofo" on the front. The shirt was of unknown color underneath it. He had light blue Lee jeans on, purple athletic shorts with NYS on the front, a brown leather belt, black and red soccer cleats, yellow metal bracelet, a brown cord necklace with a charm, a cloth bracelet, a yellow metal ring with green gemstones, and a yellow metal ring with clear stones. He was found with a cell phone, an MP3 player, and headphones. He had a crystal clear cube. I have no idea what that is. He had scissors, nail clippers, a USB drive, a bus ticket, and a receipt from a clinic in Hermosillo, Sonora, with the name Junio Yoel Ruiz. It was dated on June 4th, 2008. The name found on the receipt could not be confirmed by Mexican authorities. His fingerprints matched those of an unidentified man caught by the Border Patrol in 2000, but they were unable to take a picture of the man at that time. He had a lot of stuff with him. He must have been like a traveler.
Yeah, got a bit of a gypsy vibe there.
Yeah.
Or a surfer type. A surfer dude.
I think he was probably like somebody who traveled from place to place for work.
Yeah. Is that a
Would be
hobo?
my no.
There's a name for it, isn't there?
Well, yes. Well,
We used to travel
back
on
in the
the
old days,
railways, didn't they?
yes, those were called hobos. When my great grandmother was a small child, the hobos would get off because her house was marked. You know how they mark for that. This is a kind house. This gives food. Anyway, her house was marked. But in Arizona and Mexico, it's not uncommon that Hispanic men will travel to get work in fields or construction, but they don't necessarily stick around for a long time. So it would not be uncommon to come across a Hispanic man who, carried whatever he needed with him.
Very interesting. See, this is just endless, isn't it, this?
Yeah. And maybe we could do like a couple more and then do a follow-up series on this because I want to wrap this up around an hour and I spent forever talking.
Do you know what? Is a scary thing? This list is getting bigger as we do this.
Yeah.
That's a bit scary to think about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do New Haven County, John Doe, 1923. Hang on, what should it be? On August the 9th, 1923, the badly decomposed remains of an unknown male were found on Milford Turnpike in West Haven, near the New Haven County home. This John Doe was estimated to be approximately 27 years old, had brown hair and stood at 5 feet 7 inches. He weighed approximately 150 pounds. The descendant wore a brown striped suit under one arm. Sorry, Chaser. and under one arm had a chauffeur's cap. He had a cloth gag in his mouth, and there appeared to be 2 bullet wounds in his chest. This is a hit, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
He was apparently killed by strangulation. The individual was possibly killed by serial killer Carl Panzeram.
Huh.
Have you heard of that guy?
No, I haven't.
Panzeram, Panzram. Panzeram.
Huh.
He was one of the few victims of Panzeram that can be confirmed. It is alleged that the victim may have been approximately 16 years old, and either the nephew or the son of a New York policeman. Crazy that.
Interesting.
Panzeram. I can't believe that we've come across a serial killer that you've not heard of.
Yeah, write that down, and I'm gonna look it up actually, because I think I might have. What state is this?
New Haven in
Yes.
Connecticut.
Oh, yes. I think I know who this is. Can you write that down? Because I think I've actually talked about him before.
Yeah, just a sec.
Okay. Okay, my final one is going to be. This is really depressing to me. This is Mary Anderson. She's a woman who checked into a Seattle hotel under the pseudonym Mary A. Anderson. She was found dead in her hotel room by staff on October 11th, 1996. She had committed suicide by consuming cyanide. The address and phone number that she provided at check-in was false, and she left behind no identification. Searches of missing person reports from across the United States, Canada, and Interpol failed to identify her, and her fingerprints were not on file with the FBI. She left behind a suicide note, as well as her luggage, clothing, and jewelry, none of which revealed her identity. This is heartbreaking. You commit suicide, and it's just, there is nobody who missed you, or that is obvious that missed her. This is heartbreaking to me.
Yeah.
Who did she leave behind the suicide note to, I wonder? Well, I mean, if you were a family member, knows of anybody who would go by that pseudonym, or lived in the Seattle area, or I don't know. I can't put photos up with these podcasts, but if you want to go look up her photo, you'll be able to find it. And if you know anything, how sad. Her picture is, her drawing is, she looks like she's got like a mom haircut, short to the ears, close set brown eyes. She's white, I would say, wearing a jogging jacket. Blonde. A little bit of a curved nose at the end, but no, probably a little bit on the chunky side, but not much. Just fuller. She's got a fuller face. That's what I would say. Yeah, go look up that picture if you would like to, or you know what? I don't think like is the correct answer, but anyway, I'd like to do some more of these, Rob.
Yeah. Yeah.
It certainly can't hurt. And even if we get people who are interested enough to go to look at the FBI missing people website, the John Doe Project, the Doe Project. If you go look, I have a brother, and anybody who's been here for a long time knows Uncle Mike, who all my crazy stories involved. And I've gone and looked on those pages for him before, and it's not that's a scary thing. But if you walk into Walmart, lots of times they have missing people on the door, on the wall, right when you walk in the door of Walmart. You just take a second to go look.
Yeah.
Well, those are children that have been taken. Just take a second. You don't know what you don't know. You might think you don't know anybody in that circumstance, or you don't know any children in that circumstance, but you might have seen them. Obviously you just didn't know. Anyway, thank you for coming. And again, if you're interested in all the topics we do here, we do national forests, people missing national forests, national parks, paranormal, everything from A to Z paranormal. I think there's a little bit for everybody who's interested in the unusual, the maybe unexplainable. And I also just put up a bunch of houses that you could buy that are actually supposedly haunted. So you could do that too. And good night, Rob. Thank you.
Not a problem. We look forward to hearing any comments you've got about this podcast. And God bless everybody and good night.
Good night.